Good morning, everybody. Morning. I love it. I love it. We're ready to do this. So I'm Jamie Stant. I am a senior systems engineer at Extreme Networks. I appreciate everybody coming in for this morning's session. Give you a quick little history about myself. I've been at Extreme 7 years. I started at Extreme 7 years ago as an engineer. About 4 years ago, I went back and became a salesperson, or as my ex-trusty engineer likes to call me, a sales puke. And in July, Extreme Networks, as part of our growth, created a new position as part of a new team for supporting our channel, and which is VIcom, obviously, and our other partners across the US. And so I had a unique opportunity to look at this role and take this role and kind of go back into the heart of what I love, which is the technology and engineering. So July 1, I went back to what I call the light side of things, and now I'm back to being an engineer. So I was thrilled when VIcom announced that they were bringing back this show and had a speaking slot for me. And so I really was excited to be a part of this and come back and spend time with a partner of mine that I've done so much work with over the last few years, and thrilled to be able to come up here and talk. By show of hands, who was here yesterday and got to sit in on the keynote? So Vala, unbelievable talker, unbelievable storyteller. He's just a phenomenal asset for us at Extreme Networks. My story won't be as great. I'm going to probably try to talk about a little bit of the weeds as to how Extreme Networks does some of the things that Vala was talking about. So when we talk about Extreme Networks, the first thing I like to get into is why Extreme Networks? Why be a part of Extreme Networks? Why have Extreme Networks in your guys' solution? And it starts as us and what our philosophy is, and that's really that our IT infrastructure is a strategic business asset. It's strategic to you guys, it's strategic to us. The other part of it that we like to look at is we want to deliver high quality, consistent user experiences. And Vala talked about this yesterday, and I'll give a little bit deep diver today as to really what we think about what these are. And at Extreme and why Extreme, it really starts off with our culture and who we are and why we do what we do, and the solutions that we provide and the services that we provide. And all of that is based fundamentally around the technology that we provide. We are a end-to-end network solutions offering for people out there. We have wireless products, switching products, and a series of software that helps align our global presence for delivering offerings and solutions to you guys, our customers. From having these products, we've been recognized significantly in the industry over the last few years with just some key highlights there. But as part of these solutions, the other thing that we've been able to dive into has been a significant presence within the NFL. In fact, yesterday we just announced that we are now the Hotspot 2.0 provider of the Seattle Seahawks. Anybody familiar with Hotspot 2.0? If you're not, Hotspot 2.0 is the cellular offloading of your mobile device onto a Wi-Fi network. That means when fans come into the Seattle Seahawks stadiums and they have their iPhone or they have their Android phone, they walk in and they automatically have their cellular connection offloaded to Wi-Fi. That means they're no longer using their cellular minutes, their cellular data, and it's done seamless to them as a user. We just announced this again in the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know how anybody will hear their phone conversations in that stadium. It's a loud stadium, but that is something that we're doing and we're striving to do. And if you're of any business of any type, we're seeing a significant amount of growth in that area, especially in the K-12 environments and in the higher education. People want to start offloading that cellular data onto Wi-Fi networks.
Can they actually use their phones to browse the web when they're in a stadium like that? Because my experience is everything melts down in there, and they'll only, quality of service stuff like voice and text will get through, but you can't ever,
Right, so that's the point of cellular offloading onto Wi-Fi. And if you haven't sat in an Extreme Networks Wi-Fi powered stadium, you're not in the right stadiums. So we've figured out the way using our specific chipset, our software, to provide a quality user experience within an NFL stadium. And it's been a big factor for us. So we right now are part of, I think, 7 or 8 NFL stadiums, and we're continuing to grow that business because of the quality of experience within a stadium. It's a challenging environment. You have 70,000 people on 8 game days a year that are trying to have connectivity, and they want that same connectivity they have in their house at the stadium. There's few vendors that are out there and actually promoting that and doing it as well as we do. And we have a significant base, and we're going to continue to grow that base. As part of that, the other thing behind that is we're the official analytics provider to the NFL. So the NFL, as you guys all know, is a monster marketing company. They're about marketing. They have just a very short period of every year to market to everybody. So what we've done is injected the ability to take our analytics engine and put it into every NFL stadium and grab the analytics as to what people are looking at when they're on the Wi-Fi or when they're being offloaded on the network and what they're going to do and why they're going to do that. So it's a compelling story, and it's what I'll really talk about today is the analytics as to what we do. So as part of all of this, though, we have a large data center solution out there driven to provide high performance and high scalability for the data that you may use as a customer. And to round off our technology portfolio, we have a management platform that provides visibility, control, and the analytics that I'll get more deeper dive into. From a customer standpoint, our goal at the end of the day is there's nothing more important than our customers. We strive to have 100% customer satisfaction out there. And to show that effort, we have 100% in-source, in-staff IT support. So when you call Extreme Networks for support, you're talking to an Extreme Networks employee. You're not talking to somebody that's been outsourced or farmed out of a foreign country or a third world country. You're talking to somebody that we employ and is a believer and part of our culture. And most of the time, we have first call resolution. So when you make a call and say, I need support, we're going to strive to make sure that that is answered and resolved. And because our customers are so focused, we're so customer centric, we have a high loyalty rating. If you're not familiar with this is the Net Promoter Score system. And give you an idea, this is just on the bottom left there. That's a screenshot as to some of our competition or some of the other recognized vendors in the industry. Anybody have an idea where we would fall at and understand how the scoring's done? Basically, we take people that would promote us, we take that percentage minus the people that wouldn't promote us. So when you look at companies that are as large out there and as highly regarded as a company like Apple or Cisco or Dell, thought out there, any idea? Just throw me a number. Where do you think Extreme Networks would fall in? We hope to be in here, right? And at least somewhere in there. Our score is 81%. People are loyal, they love us, they respect us, and because we're so customer focused with having the right products and right solutions, they continually recommend us. And that's because of our culture. And we're an easy to do business company. Your local sales teams, the guys that are here in the street, they're in this room right now. They're local to you guys. They make sure that we have an easy way of doing business with you guys. And since we're easy to do business and we look at making innovative products, we offer solutions that are really designed to be in your network and in your environments that you need. So our goal of the Y Extreme at the end of the day is we're focused on better connections, better experiences for everyone. So that's the why. Then the next gets me to the who's extreme, right? It's obvious to know why. Now we want to know who. I can do a search on Yahoo Finance and figure out who we are. But to give you guys an idea, we are the 4th largest network and software company in the world. We're publicly traded. You can go Google us and you search for us in finance. The stock ticker is EXTR. We're just under $1 billion company. We're based out of San Jose, but we have development offices in Salem, New Hampshire, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Toronto, Canada. We've been doing business since 1983, and we are a global company. Back about this time last year, Extreme Networks acquired Enterasys Networks, who is a long-time, well-known company for driving technology innovation. So it was a great combination of two companies into one unified company. And at the end of the day, our goal is to drive simple, fast, and smart solutions and to provide an experience economy. And the experience economy is what we're seeing today as what people are looking for. And that is, when I'm at home and I'm on my network, I expect my devices to act the same way, whether I'm at my job, or I'm at a stadium, or I'm in a hotel and trying to get connectivity. And because people are expecting that experience, there's a lot of issues that come to it, and there's a lot of challenges. There's trouble with signal, there's trouble with applications, people having, and if you've been in here and the arena here, where we all have access points turned on, there's signal interference, things like that that drive issues and make having that experience a challenge. So what do we bring? Our goal at Extreme Networks is to enable high quality user experience and to help grow that Wi-Fi bandwidth and demand. We want to make it simple. We want to help IT have free time to do their strategic functions. And we're doing that by increasing visibility to bring more business value. And that's through our software, our customized ASICs, and our analytics that we have out there. So we build fast, simple, smart networks. That's our goal at the end of the day. We want our networks to be simple to use, simple to manage, and simple to operate. We want to be fast. We want to be able to deploy, run, troubleshoot problems, and have results as fast as possible. And we want it to be smart at the end of the day. We want to know what's going on my network, who's where, what analytics are going on, and and be able to apply policy to users that are connected to that. And that's based on across our entire network portfolio, which is an end-to-end portfolio from anywhere from 10100 gig switches all the way up to high data center products, and our wireless solution offering from indoor, outdoor, high density, low density wireless. And what we carry across this and what our secret sauce is the operating system. We have a single unified operating system across the entire platform called XOS. And by having these products, we've been able to grow a huge global customer base. Strategically, we focus a lot on education, higher ed, K-12. We have a lot of customer base just here in the Hampton Roads area. Same with the enterprise. Company recognized names like ESPN, NASA, things like that, as well as in the cloud space. And in the mobile backhaul space, funny enough, this is one of those little known secrets of Extreme. We are in 19 of the top 20 mobile providers. If you make a call on your cell phone, you do any data on your cell phone today across your LTE or 3G or 4G network, there's a 90+% chance that that connectivity, that communication is going across an Extreme network. So having all these customers means we have lots of challenges out there, right? Every customer has a challenge, and our goal is to try to figure out what those challenges are and how we address them. And the biggest challenge we see is in mobility and the trends that are coming with mobility. We're seeing 70+% of global wireless traffic is traversing Wi-Fi. So although we have all these cellular communications, more traffic is going over Wi-Fi than anything else. And part of this that we're seeing is a new digital economy. And when I talk about what the digital economy is, 60% of kids 8 to 12 years old, 8 to 12, have a cellular capable mobile device. That's a phenomenal, staggering amount. When I was in school, there were no cell phones. I know probably everybody in this room didn't have cell phones. It wasn't even a thought when you guys were in school. Now, kids are all going into school. They have cell phones, they have devices to communicate to the network, and it's just going to continue to grow and grow as time passes on here. We're also seeing a significant amount of drive in education, specifically towards going to digital books and things like that. So we know that there's a significant drive in the education, and what's driving a lot of this is social media. Kids are using things like Twitter and the Facebook and things like that to help not just drive communications, but collaboration. And we're also seeing that same collaboration in the enterprise, in the work environments. And as these social devices and media start to grow, the data on the back end is growing, and we're seeing more cloud services come out there. Used to be all of our devices had all the software loaded to it. We used to, if I had a laptop, I put Microsoft Office on it. Today, if I have a laptop, our company ourselves at Extreme Networks, we're putting Office 365 out there, and we're doing it from the cloud. We're no longer doing our applications local to our devices. So we're seeing huge, huge growth in the cloud. And as cloud grows, we're seeing the applications out there grow. Last year alone, there were 70 billion applications downloaded. And from iTunes, the second most downloaded application was education-based. So education plays a huge part into that. And as we continue growing, big data is growing, right? So it's all this stuff is becoming cyclical as to all this mobile device connectivity, all this cellular connectivity. It's driving data, driving apps, and we're just seeing a continued growth of big data. So we have the infrastructure to solve these issues, but we're not solving all the issues at the end of the day with just infrastructure. Yeah? There's never a dumb question.
Nobody can tell me who owns the cloud. Microsoft owns the cloud. Who owns the cloud in regular?
The cloud is a genericized term that just refers to everybody's data centers out there. So the cloud is the interconnectivity of all of these different data centers. And it's not that the government owns it, you know, but it is.
I have a strong base there. He said the government owns it. Somebody gave me the government owns it.
No, so if you're not familiar with the cloud is just a generic term for how data is stored remotely and accessed remotely. It's as simple as that. So as opposed to having it saved to my device, somebody else has a server out there that they're hosting that application or that data, and all I'm doing is going to it across the internet.
Wouldn't you really just call it hosted service?
Absolutely.
I mean, but
But Network World coined the cloud. I'm pretty sure Cisco coined the cloud, and we're just following what Cisco does. So.
Larry Ellison doesn't get it either. He's been doing it for 20 years.
So at the end of the day, right, there's all this trends and all these things occurring on the network, and I know you guys are seeing it. And so having the hardware is one way to address it, but having the hardware doesn't address it all. So we have a software suite of element managers, of analytics, and of policy management that provide what we're calling our One Fabric solution. And we're taking all these different products and applying it, whether it's on the mobile side of things, whether it's on the data side of things, and whether it's on the security side of things. And it all ties back to what we call as our NetSite platform, which is a network systems management platform. It gives us visibility into the network, it gives us control into the network, and also gives us the ability to have security and apply policy. And at the end of the day, it's a tool for providing reports, policy, inventory, security, not just visibility at the end of the day. And with having a tool like that, we can start seeing who and what's on my network. And when I say who, we can deep dive and actually take a fingerprint and say, this device is connected here, this user's connected here on that device, I can see what operating system they're on, I can see what applications they're using, I can see what policies they have applied to them. So when you start knowing who's on your network and where they are, the next thing you want to know is, what are they doing? What's going on my network? How are my users utilizing the network? Are they being efficient? Are they doing stuff that they should be doing? And 90% of the networks today don't really do a deep dive into that. They just know, all right, this user's here and he's using this much bandwidth. So with our application that we call Purview, we're actually able to do a deeper dive and grab the analytics as to what's going on at a port-based level. It's truly a layer 1 through 7 application visibility. And this Purview structure, this Purview component, relies on several different devices. It uses our analytics engine, a flow-based switch, and our NetSite platform for visibility. And it really looks like this. It's a 3-tiered structure. The base of the structure is a flow-enabled switch. In the middle, we have our engine, and at the top is what really takes the Purview information and makes it look pretty. At the end of the day, this is such a powerful tool that we can actually deploy it in anybody's network. So going back to what I mentioned with the NFL and the analytics that we're providing, we did the New York Giants Stadium last year for the Super Bowl. It is not an Extreme Networks solution. But by injecting this structure into it, we are able to grab all of the analytics going across the network. So
Understand third-party nibs?
for this, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Ask that again.
Does NetSite understand third-party MIBs? Yes, it does. So why network powered analytics? The proof's in itself, right? When you know what's going on in your network, you can start seeing and providing analytics. You can figure out what's going on. One of the very first use cases that we had, we deployed Purview out into a hospital in Germany. Hospital was complaining that their databases were running terribly slow. A day into having Purview up and running, we found out that one of their database server was actually replicating their database 3 times across it. So they were actually running 3 separate instances of SQL on that database. And we were able to find that information out. And this was a problem this hospital had had for years. So you can troubleshoot when you know the analytics. The other thing that we're doing is trying to apply this to education. We have a great customer down here, Norfolk Public Schools. Yes. Well, if you've seen last year's test scores at Norfolk Public Schools, they weren't great. They're not great. We want to do away with that. We want to make these students become A students. And we want to do that by figuring out the analytics as to what's going on in the network. So when I deep dive into an analytics, and I know some of you guys are sitting far back there, this is a snapshot, and we're happy to show this at the booth, but this is a snapshot as the analytics that's actually going on. Our goal is to take our A and B students, figure out what they're doing right, what they're doing on the network, because at the end of the day, the A, B, C, D, F students, they're all getting the same curriculum. They're all being taught the same thing. So what are the A and B students doing that's different? And what are the C and D students doing that are different? Are they going to different websites? What's their time on the computer look like? What's their testing look like? How do we take the analytics of that? So having this analytics, we can start doing a deep dive and say, hey, Susie, she's an A student. Where did she go to? She was following the same curriculum, but she did a totally different thing. She went to XYZ website. So now we can go to XYZ website, dig down and say, oh, well, she was looking at this content or this material on that website. Let's start taking that material and enforcing it into the curriculum. There's a reason why Susie's getting A's and the content and the curriculum that we're providing isn't allowing for all of our students to get better grades. So having Purview and having the analytics here gives us that ability to do so. Now we take the same philosophy and we put it into enterprise. Everybody knows these guys. These are our water cooler buddies. They're always sitting there, hanging out. These are what I call 80%. And then we have Joe. He's sitting in his cube, working hard, busting his tail, trying to get his job done. This is our 20%. Everybody familiar with the 80-20? 20% of our employees are doing 80% of our work. So why? How do we make that 80% of our employees more effective? We promote Joe. We see what Joe's doing. We grab his analytics as well, and we say, hey, Joe, how come you're always getting your stuff ahead of deadlines? How come you're being so productive? How come, you're so great and awesome and these guys aren't getting it? So we take what Joe's doing and we promote it into our corporate culture. And by promoting that into the corporate culture, we can start making that something for the other 80% of employees to achieve and strive to. That's going to increase business. We're going to start growing. We're going to start making more money. So at the end of the day, when people work for a company, they believe in their corporate culture. The goal is to drive that corporate culture. And as we drive that corporate culture, we motivate employees. And when you have motivated employees, you have people that want to work harder and make more money for that company because they believe in it. So take that now at a different step. I use it with what we have here at Extreme Networks. I have 2 engineers covering 2 different territories, or I did. I had my engineer, Bill, and I had my engineer, John. Both engineers have been in the industry 30 years, both seasoned veterans. Both of these guys they know their job, they know their business. But when I give Bill a task, Bill's done the task way before John's done the task. I can give him the exact same task. Why is Bill done before that? Why is Bill done before John? So what I started finding out, we dove into the analytics, Bill's doing things differently. He's collaborating with social media. He's using things like LinkedIn to grab other resources. He's using different search engines than what John was using to try to figure out how to solve the problem. So now I can start taking what Bill's doing and applying that to our corporate culture and saying, hey, John, if you would have used this and we should start using this as a tool, we can start becoming faster and more efficient. So now when Greg's working with Bill, they can sell more because they have problem solved way ahead of John and I. So by taking that same mindset, not bashing the 80-20 employees, but looking at good employees, how do we make them better? And this is a tool that we're using to make good employees better. And understand at the end of the day, for us, Purview really does stand alone. It's an unbelievable product for providing analytics and driving business and driving revenue. So that brings me back to the why Extreme. So just to summarize for you guys here, priority 1, take care of our customers. We want our customers to be happy. We want you guys as customers to understand that we're here for you no matter what. We build phenomenal products. The analytics that we provide, the hardware that we provide, it's rock solid, and if it's not, we will work to make it as best as we can. And we think we're easy to do business with. I mentioned, your sales team's right here in the room. They're local to you guys. We have a huge presence in every territory, in every region. If you have questions, you ever need anything, reach out to us, see what your response time is. Reach out to our competitors, see what their response time is. It's going to be significantly different, and that's because of our back to the main philosophy, we care about our customers. And by doing so, our goal at the end of the day is to enable a great quality experience, and that quality experience resonates with the products we sell and the solutions that we offer. And by doing that, we're simplifying the network, allowing more time for the IT groups to have provide more strategic functions. And at the end of the day, we increase network visibility to bring more business value. That's my story, guys. I appreciate everybody coming in here. I know we have tickets. I think we're supposed to draw. Any questions? Concerns?
What's the legal ramification of running that software in maybe an environment that has, let's say, a union shop in there?
That's a great question. Bill and I had this discussion for quite some time over the last few days. So at the end of the day, it is solely tied to your business or the government's level of understanding. There are products that the government uses to grab and acquire information. It's just a matter of how that information is used, what the guidelines may be for your business. The goal at the end of the day, though, is to try not to be big brother with these analytics. The goal is to promote it. And I can say that, and it's up to an organization to do so. So there are, for a legal standpoint, this is not tied to any legal software of any type. There are other programs out there that do the legal searches, the lawful intercept type things out there. This is a scaled down version of that.